In this video, we will explore a critical period in history, which is the aftermath of the First World War. World powers came together with the hope of establishing lasting peace. With the formation of League of Nations and the signing of Treaty of Versailles, many believed that a new era of diplomacy and stability was beginning. However, as we will demonstrate through our dialogues and roleplay, these efforts failed to address deeper inequalities and tensions between states. For better understanding our dialogues and roleplay, firstly I will start with defining key concepts and giving necessary background information. The League of Nations is an international organization founded in 1920 with the goal of promoting peace and preventing future wars through diplomacy and collective security. It can be called as the first serious attempt at a global peacekeeping body. In our dialogues, we will be presenting the League of Nations Conference. At the same time, the Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the war between the Allies and Germany. It is the most significant treaty to understand the aftermath of the First World War, as instead of providing the basis for peace, it imposed harsh penalties on Germany. This situation became one of the underlying reasons for the Second World War in the long run. To better understand its impact, we examined the treaty and its articles as a primary source. Here are several key articles to demonstrate how severe and punitive the treaty truly was. Let's begin with the famous article 231. Germany is fully responsible for the starting of the war. This article offers a basis for harsh penalties. Secondly, there were harsh military restrictions. No air force allowed, no tanks, and only 100,000 troops. And there were territorial losses for Germany. Germany lost huge lands to mainly France and Poland. The losses included overseas colonies too. Lastly, Germany paid huge sums of money to Allied powers, which damaged the German economy dramatically. As you all know, we are gathered here today in an attempt to establish an extraordinary state of peace, never seen before, after the devastating humanitarian consequences of the Great War.
We, as the delegation of France, agree with the Great British Empire. Indeed, we should have peace.
Easy for you to say.
No, please don't interrupt me. I feel violated and it's really disrespectful. We know the rules. Nobody has to provoke nobody. We keep calm. Please respect the rules as they are for centuries.
Bro, chill. We've just formed the League of Nations. What century are you talking about?
Germany is still a clear threat for our world peace.
Well, I don't know about Germany or you guys. However, I don't have multiple colonies like you, so I won't leave this table without getting what I deserve as the successor of the Roman Empire. Buongiorno!
Hello. Would you like a cup of coffee? It's available.
Bro, I'm Italian. You don't drink no Americano. I'll get an espresso. But why did you invite me?
I know that you aren't happy with your local colonies. I don't have any too. Besides, after the British and France got what they wanted, they're trying to make peace. If it were done who didn't have colonies, they would declare another war by now.
What do you suggest we do then?
Do you want to form an alliance with me in order to get what we deserve?
Mamma mia, amazing idea. Bella questa.
Let's take a moment to understand how the League of Nations actually worked and why its structure made effective peacekeeping nearly impossible. The League of Nations was made up of three main bodies. The Assembly, where all member states had a seat and could vote on major issues, which is based on unanimity. The Council, which included major powers like Britain, France, Italy, and later Japan, along with rotating smaller states. And the Secretariat, which handled administration and day-to-day work.
But here's the crucial point. Every member state, large or small, had the power of veto. That means, even if most countries agreed on a decision, just one country could block it. This made it extremely hard to take collective action, especially when powerful states disagreed or when a decision threatened national interests. Rather than fostering unity, this structure often caused deadlock. The League of Nations could only take action when all members were in agreement, and this was an unlikely scenario in a world with conflicting interests and escalating tensions. This structure of the League of Nations became a major problem and provided an obstacle to the League's ability to enforce peace and effectively address crises. In this scenario, alliance of Italy and Germany against the League was the main reason of the deadlock.
Now we have additional breaking news. According to our attained new information, the Japanese Empire has invaded Manchuria. hciv News, Zeynep Kalkavan.
Bloody hell, it appears that the Japanese Empire has invaded Manchuria. That is completely and utterly unacceptable, especially in a global system that we aim ultimate peace. Japan, this is against the convenience of our League of Nations, and we have to take action as a result of your invasion. You cannot impose anything. Besides, that wasn't me, that's Manchukuo, and Manchukuo is not bounded by our rules. We cannot meddle in their business.
Even if we were to take action, as the more powerful states, are you, the British Empire or France, willing to send your troops?
No.
What action do you consider appropriate?
We suggest sending a commission to Manchuria, not our troops. No, we need to investigate this case before making rash decisions like sending our troops.
Good evening. We're starting our 7 p.m. news today with the information that the commission sent by the League of Nations has arrived to Manchuria. hciv News, Zeynep Kalkavan.
Our commission has decided that it's the best to give the Manchuria back to Chinese.
Nani? No, I object.
Haha, simply lovely that. Now what will we do? Can we act on it if one rejects? Aren't we all supposed to be on the same page?
If you are going to be against me, then I will just leave your league. And Manchukuo even is not real. It was me all along, and you cannot stop me.
Yeah, we will rip apart the Versailles Treaty. They say we are dumb, but we are not. We are the Roman Empire of today, the Third Reich. We are aiming for the perfect race. Aryan, oh Führer, my Führer, I'm your Führer. So, I'll leave then. What does all this Roman stuff have to do with Germany anyway?
Everybody's a Roma fan. Even if they say they're not, they are a Roma fan.
Even though the idea was similar to today's United Nations, the mechanism of the League of Nations was much weaker. The League had no military force or real power to enforce its decisions. The only thing they could do if a country broke the rules was condemn it or ask members to impose sanctions on the country, which was not a real threat in a world that is driven by state interest.
Breaking news. We have received reports that state the Italian troops have entered Abyssinia. hciv News, Barkın Güven. We cannot accept all that's happening. Italy, you don't have the right to invade Ethiopia. It's against our rules. We will have to impose sanctions. You need to stop this right now if you care about your economy.
It was your right to invade everywhere though, wasn't it, just a few years ago? Now that you're present all around the world, you can say it's not right to do it, because you have nothing to lose. If you have colonies, that's fine, but no, Italy, you can't invade Ethiopia. How nice and humane the British are, but Italy is the bad one? I don't care about your sanctions anyway. What a two-faced action. I'm going home.
In 1935, Italy made a secret deal with France known as the Franco-Italian Agreement. France quietly supported Italy's claims in Africa in exchange for support against Germany. The deal was made without consulting Britain or the League and showed how major powers can make backroom deals that weaken unity, peacekeeping, and trust. As you all know, the Italian invasion of Ethiopia continues. Now they have taken a more serious step by withdrawing from the League of Nations. hciv News, Barkın Güven.
You've finally come to your senses, yeah? We will be successful.
You're right. It's about time to take action.
Now that all three of us have came together, they won't be able to stop us.
As we mentioned before, the League had the principle of collective security and it relied on the unity and mutual support of its members. However, after the incidents that Japan's invasion of Manchuria and Italy's aggression in Abyssinia, and the withdrawals, it was obvious that the League was unable to take effective action. In conclusion, major powers acted in self-interest and the League failed to punish aggressors. Therefore, the loss of trust in collective world security was inevitable. The idea that collective action will protect the states was gone.
I would have liked to say good evening, however, it isn't one. After the Great War, we thought there would be peace given all the loss, but it seems another war, just as devastating, if not more, is at the door. hciv-102, Leyla Hasan. To summarize, the League of Nations was founded with the ideal of preserving peace after the First World War, but proved ineffective in the face of rising aggressions and conflicts during the 1930s. Lack of commitment between major powers made the idea of enforcing peace and resolutions nearly impossible. In the end, it failed to prevent the outbreak of the Second World War, and this highlighted the need for a stronger international body, which would later be shaped as the United Nations.